parts department, one of my favorite topics. What lives in there anyway? My parts department includes partially constructed ideas like a technique for a shaped edge with a facing, or a new combo for bound buttonholes, or a pieced bias collar. They're often parts of construction I can picture, but want to actually see an idea made up, so I might just make it. And it doesn't necessarily attach to anything to start with. Some of the pieces are perfect for small elements like collars or pockets or mini bags. These pieces have such a different feel, but were both stenciled with the Deco Bird stencil. These things are living in my parts department. Some pieces start to look like pockets. These pieces, you can see I'm playing with the edges. There's some cording, there's some stitching. This little pleated pocket was inset into fabric that was stenciled first. Oftentimes, looking at larger pieces on the dress form can inspire ideas for printing into fabric that's already got a layer of surface design. Deconstructing a garment, I often save parts, collar panels, extra pieces that might become part of a new design. And that's what you can see has happened here. This collar piece, it was a garment taken apart. Oftentimes what's in the parts department is unfinished projects. I believe that oftentimes we don't finish things because we've already learned what we needed to learn, and there's no need to finish it. So don't beat yourself up. Go ahead and add some of those things to the parts department that maybe you started with enthusiasm, but in your lifetime you don't care about anymore. Go ahead and cut them up a little bit. That helps to eliminate the guilt, like you should finish it. So my parts department is full of these kinds of things. So diving into my parts department for something to print, I found these two pieced panels with some faced edges, and I love the idea of working these up into maybe a fall garment. They've already got some printing, they've been pieced a little bit, and so the first thing I do is I put them on the dress form, and I'm looking at combinations. Look at it with this neutral linen color. I sure like that, but I'm also leaning towards a fall garment, which means I might go a little darker since I've already pieced it with some dark bits of fabric. So, look at this combo. I love it with the brown linen. I think it grounds it in a whole different way, and I think I'm going to go that direction as I start to print. So there's my first pass, just looking at it in combination with other colored fabrics to determine what might go with what. So as I printed, you can see that I've added to the panel as well as the brown linen. I wanted to show you this one with my paint because I've used three colors. I've used black, bronze, and pewter together. And even if I mostly want black, black is pretty harsh all by itself. And I tend to like how it softens the color if I mix a little bit. So even though some of these are mostly dark, leaning towards black, the bronze and the pewter give them a little more warmth and depth as I print with those colors. So check it out. Here's the printed piece. Oh, I love this together already. You can see I've gone back into the panels. I've also gone back into the brown pieces and added to that. Let me show you just tell you which stencils I've actually used, because I think you'll be surprised, because I'm just using small bits and parts. I've used the Stacked Face by Miles Frody, which is under his Urban Cadence label, which is on my website. I've used Spring Leaves, I've used Off the Wall, I've used Calla Lilies, Borders, Deco Bird, and Walking Rail. All of those have been sitting on my table, and I've grabbed at them to put these images onto the fabric. Once I've added some stenciling and it's on the dress form, it's great to keep being open to possibilities along the way. Draping the pieces in different ways on the dress form gives me more ways to see how I might use these pieces in combination. So you can see it's a totally different presentation with those collar pieces draped sideways as a different shaped collar potentially. You could also lay these pieces of your printed fabric on top of actual pattern pieces to see how they might work for a garment design you're considering. Take your time here. This is one of the most creative intersections of textile making. It is a moment when all of the options are open and your imagination gets to play. Your collections and combos of materials will spark a finished piece. As this bag, your combinations are part of your signature style of work. So spend time here putting those puzzle pieces together. So what's waiting there for you? What's waiting there? What's something new in that stash of parts waiting for you? We are creating combinations that are pleasing to the eye. Beauty can be anywhere. It shows up in the power of arrangement. The simple act of placement can be a celebration of all the things most familiar to us.